Well, I felt it was time for a little update on a particular specialty ship. So, who better than to do a quick update on this than Mua? Yes. So, let's bring on the swarm. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, introducing the Freedom class starship of the USS Franklin NX-326. Yes, this is our swarm ship. Now, for those of you who remember, who are actually been in the game long enough to remember, this thing was introduced to us in July 2019, along with a whole whack of new systems, a whole new hostile to grind, and a whole new mechanic. Because basically, since the game had started, and a couple of months had gone by, it got a little bit stale pretty quickly. So we were asking for some new content, and Scopely finally delivered with the Franklin. Now, there's an awful lot that's been added to this over the last 4 years. Yes, it is nearly 4 years since this thing arrived in our shipyards. So why don't we actually go and have a look, and let's just remind ourselves a little bit about the Franklin. Now, I will be talking about crews a little bit later on in the video, but what I wanted to do is start with the basics. So obviously that was the Franklin as you saw, and basically where do we go? Well, we take it out of territory for starters, and we go to just to the right of rogue space, and you see all these little clouds with the thunderstorms flying around them. This is swarm space. Now, if we scroll in a little bit, as you can see, they'll start near the bottom there with Kova, which is a level 15 system, and they literally go up as through the levels. Now, obviously, they'll reach a point where they start just basically going up every single 2 levels. As you can see here in the middle of the screen, we've got a 17 and an 18. Now, we have to move over here before we can find some more. And we've got a 24, a 26, and a 28. And then if we can just get the screen to move, there we go. We've got Von and Freestart, which are level 30 and 32 systems as well. Got them. And then we've also got Vesely and Dolgan. Now, a little bit south here, we have some more systems, where we have Azini all the way through to Laran, and 19, 20, 22, and 24. Across the way, we have Seo, and we have Redmond as the 26 and 28 systems. And up here, we also have the Fontaine and Adelphi systems, as well as the swarms we have. Now, like I said, when we got this, it was accompanied with PAL missions. There were no patch notes. Yeah, there were no patch notes on this one. I spent ages looking through the web store, looking for some patch notes, and Lord as beyond, could I find any? Could I bollocks? So I'm guessing, I can't remember because it was nearly 4 years ago, I think we actually got most of this information through the ING or in-game news, if you want to look at it that way. So what hostiles did we get? We got these swarms. And here we go. These are the level 15 swarms, and as you can see, it's basically a few ships flying around together. Now, the higher you go, the more that's added. We so far seen a maximum of 5 flying around together. But what do they pay out? Well, they pay out these frequency modulators. Now, this little bit will come in very handy in just a moment. So you've got these. You have to collect these. They help increase the Franklin, help tear it up. But how many do you need? Well, it gets pretty pricey. Now, I've got a tier 3 Franklin sat right there. I originally did have a tier 9, but obviously I've scrapped it for its big brother, who we will also mention in this video. But when the Franklin is properly tiered up and leveled up, you can actually go all the way and hit these level 35 systems. These are the top range for the Franklin itself. As you can see, the number of modulators they're paying out is drastically a larger amount, going from 1 to 843 there. Again, like I said, but that's taking on your, that's taking a tier 9 Franklin on. Now, as you can see there, there's 5 on that one. Now, if we have a quick look at what these actually kick out here in the game, the DPR obviously is just under 470,000. They are interceptors, so obviously they are aimed at armor piercing, so that's where their biggest strength is. Their shield piercing and accuracy are somewhat mediocre, but average for an interceptor. Defense-wise, again, armor and shield deflection, yeah, okay. But the one thing is, these don't have shields. There you go, in the health. Oh, and somebody just kind of blew that one up. So let's go find another one, shall we? So we'll pick this one here and go down to the health. So as you can see, it's -1. They have no shields. They are pure hull health. So, yeah. Now, we will talk about the... Oh, okay. There's another one bit the dust. So somebody's clearly active. And I've got a funny feeling it's that star player there. So, now, I have got some little details I wanted to show. So, that's the new systems. But we also have some research. Now, originally this research was placed in the Galaxy tree, but since the introduction of the Cerritos and the introduction of the Starships tree, it's all been moved over here. And to be perfectly honest, you don't even have to go that far down the screen to find it. It's on the 4th line, the 4th column, 4th and 5th. That is it. Now, like I said, we originally had some research brought in the Galaxy tree, which basically helped towards boosting the Franklin's various aspects. So you got weapon damage here on the weak points. Targeting increases your accuracy. Fortification increases your base armor. And the jammer increases your... decreases the dodge of the swarm. Now, if you notice, these are all against swarm hostiles only. Putting the Franklin up in a PvP or in a PvE fight against other hostiles is pretty much of a waste of time, because it is a pretty crap vessel, to be perfectly honest. Now, it wasn't also built for speed, so they also give us an impulse boost as well, which obviously, as you can see, mine's maxed at 20, so that helps it shoot across the space a little bit more. But this is the golden ticket for the original Franklin only, and I will show you this when we do look at some costs here. Improves the base cost efficiency of the frequency modulated components by up to 60% when it's maxed. Now, if any piece of research that you do want to focus on, this is it, because these frequency modulators are going to be very, very pricey for the Franklin, especially when you get to tier 9, tier 8, and you're going for the tier 9. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to ftfc.space, courtesy of Ripper, who's now graciously let Scopely hold the reins with him, and we're going to look at some stats for the Franklin. Okay, so here's the Franklin. As you can see, it is a 9-tiered vessel. It starts off in G2 and finishes off in G3. Now, the total build cost, as you can see, is going to be 90 blueprints, 18 hours, and it's also going to require 300 of those frequency modulators. So to get this, obviously, you're going to have to start grinding out the frequency modulators to begin with. What is the requirement of it? Well, it's a Shipyard 17, which means this is the very first speciality ship that you will receive as a brand spanking new player in this game. Obviously, for us old hands, yeah, that's like a long way behind us, unless we want to restart again. So, now let's take the range tier 1 to 9. As you can see, it's going to cost you a total of 118 million titanium and 11 million dilithium. For me, that's a drop in the water. That is absolutely nothing. But look at the frequency modulators. 20.1. Yes, 20.1 frequency modulators. That is a hell of a lot. And I mean a hell of a lot. And then obviously you've got some uncommon G2 and G3, common, refined gas and crystal. The gas is obviously the prevalent ones because obviously it is an explorer. You will also need some G2 and G3 explorer parts, so bear that in mind when you're upgrading. So, like I said, it's a 9-tier vessel, and as you can see, we've got a load of different various things for the warp core. Yeah, this is level locked. It starts at 17 and finishes off, let me think, 17, 19, 21, 23, 24. Now, just to add in here, I made a little bit of a mistake when recording. So instead of re-recording that section, I just put the snippets at the top of the screen just to make it easier for you to actually read. So, yeah, as much as I'm telling you the right information, I'm also making sure the correct information is also displayed. 5, 27, 29, 31, 33. Oh, level 35. Yes, Ops 35 is where you are pretty much going to be finished with this thing. Good, because Ops 35 is where the Franklin A comes in. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. So, as you just see me going up in numbers, yeah, that's what you need. You need to be at those Ops levels for just to unlock these. Now, I don't know if the missions are still active for new players to do, but they're certainly not in the holodeck yet. But we can only wait and see. Total tier up time, obviously, is 10 days. So, that's that one. Right, so it's weapons. It's got 3 energy weapons, all phaser beams firing the exact same amount the whole way through. It's also got shields and a cargo bay and warp engines. Yee! So, as you can see on the warp engines, that's where your locks are coming in. It's all to do with the warp drive. Now, the firing pattern for this thing, straightforward. 1-1-1 across the board, every single round. It's just going to keep firing. So, yep, all energy weapons. Now, crewing, as you can see, it's got 5 slots available. Yay! So you can put five below deckers on, and its maximum bonus is actually 100%. It's pretty easy to get this thing up. I can do it on my current officer levels. So, and then there's pretty much nothing else. Let's just show you the quickly warp. It starts at warp range 13, and it will top out at warp range 27. So that is pretty much it, really. Now, let's jump back into game, and I'll show you the additional stuff that came with it as well. Now, when it was introduced, we was given a whole whack of new dailies to do. Now, this one watcher here, defeat level 15 plus 50 of. Yeah, that was the actual target we was given when this was originally released. 65 appears when you actually do get above the level 32 swarm. So, just watch out for that one as you get level up. Now, there are 3 of these, and what they pay out is they pay out biominerals, also pay out some frequency modulators, which are centered around the tier of your Franklin. So please, if you actually buy this for the first time as a new player, do not expect to find 37.5 frequency modulators, because you won't get them. So, but it is a great way to build up your frequency modulators while you're grinding them out. And here's another one. As you can see, this one's only got 30 in it, and it's got less biominerals in it as well. But it is the biominerals as well that you absolutely want from this. So, and where are you going to take them? Well, you're going to take them to your refinery. Yes. And you're going to look for the resources tab. Yep. So I'll just move myself out of the way. And this is what you get. Now, ignore this first tab, the Franklin 2.0 blueprints, because we're not going to touch that. But biominerals this is where you bring them. As you can see, you're going to get par steel, titanium, and dilithium. So you can go for any one of them. As you can see, I've got ones on mine, which means I can technically go for another one if I wanted to. But in 10 hours, I've got a refresh, so I'll wait till the refresh. And I'll do a 3 pull. Yeah, because once you've done at least 2 days run, you should actually get enough biominerals to do potentially 2 of these. Now, if earlier on you don't, sadly, you don't. But eventually, you will get enough to do at least just 2 of these. So, now, sourcing for this, at current, is actually in the Cosmic Cleanup. And if we go to the event store, scroll across, there she is. Franklin Blueprints. That's the original Franklin. 10 remaining, limited to 10. That's all you need, really. As you can see, I've got 9 blueprints already, but hey ho. Oh no, that's what you get. You get 9 blueprints, so that's going to be 10 weeks worth of grinding, and you'll eventually get it at a cost of 100 of the Galaxy tokens. It is slow going, there's no doubt about it, but you will get there eventually. Is the Franklin worth getting? Absolutely yes. Absolutely. Because that infusion of the resources from the refinery is a great thing that you can have. Now, every single Sunday, you're going to get these 2 events. Anomalous Phenomenon, which is to do more around the discovery, so you don't need to worry about that. But it's Threat from Beyond. That's the tab you want, and you're going to be given 2 events to do. The first one is going to be the standard Threat from Beyond. Basically, go out, kill any level swarm you feel like. Yeah, any level. 75 kills, and you're going to get some resources. Now, they do start with a G2 as a level 17 player. They will go to G3, and then they'll go to G4. Now, for some peculiar reason, since we got the Franklin A, there's been no update for G5 on this. So, really, yeah. Now, as you can see, I've got Khan on the top. When you reach level 28, yes, Ops 28, you're going to start getting officers in this top pack. Now, you're going to get more than me, because for some peculiar reason, after 40, it drops to 5. I don't know why, but it does. But they are a great source to get the Khan shards. A great weekly source. Yes, you have the other source when it comes to the is it the Augment faction store, but this is also a great permanent source where you didn't. All you got to do is kill 75 swarm. So now, ideally, you could split that over 2 days. You could split it on the Sunday and the Monday if you're in the EU servers. If you're in the US servers, it's kind of a little bit more difficult, because obviously your event change is not 5 p.m. in the evening, tea time. Your event change starts at 1 p.m. for the Eastern Seaboard. And for Pacific Standard, I believe you're around about 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Also, drop in the comment section down below if you're on the Pacific side of the United States. But that's when your event changes. So yes, you could still do Monday. You got a couple of hours on Monday morning before you get to work. So and that's if you actually got time to jump in the game. If not, sod's law. Again, with the APAC servers, I think yours is more earlier in the morning, if I remember correctly. So basically, you only have Sunday to do it. That is it. But now, the event that me Alliance member didn't know about was this one, was the Heroic. Yes, the Heroic. Now, this is different. You see the number of points. Now, do not worry. That doesn't mean you have to go kill 525. That is based on your ops level. So there is that. And boom. This is for a tier 9 Franklin. Once you hit this, that is it. That's the top you'll go. You won't go any higher. But what it'll do is it'll give you 2 specific levels to go for. It'll go for the level you're currently at, which will be the 2 pointers. And it'll go for a level 2 levels above you, which is the 10 pointers. Obviously, once you get to that higher level, depending on the tier of your Franklin, yes, it is the tier of your Franklin, will depend on which one you can hit. Obviously, if you can hit the higher one, go for it. Trust me, go for it. And I think it is actually ops level as well. I think it is ops level. So, yeah, it is. Sorry, it is ops level. So if you can get your Franklin up to the level reasonable to take on the specific 10 pointers, you're laughing. Now, when it comes to the Tier 9 Franklin at level 35, you're not going to be aiming for 525 points. I will tell you that straight out. I think it's more like 345 or something like that. But it's always a 5 point. I don't know why, but it is. But again, it's also another good source of Karn shards. So as you can see, I'm getting 10 per week here. 880 shards, as you can see there. That is Tier 5. Tier 5. So you work that out. That's 88 weeks. A year and a half. A year and a half. Just over a year and a half. And you can do a Tier 5 Karn. Obviously, there are other sources of Karn. There's the transport patterns. And there's also the augment store. So yeah, you got plenty of sources where you can get Karn and get him maxed out pretty quickly. But obviously, for those who are below level 40, you're going to be getting 8 shards of Karn in this. Yes, 8 shards. Woo! So that actually reduces the amount of time it's going to take you to grind it. Well, grind him out. But anyway, so that is the Franklin. The plain and simple Franklin. Now, we do have the Franklin A. And we'll get into that in just a moment. Because what I want to also quickly throw in to this video is also the fact that we had an update to the transporter patterns, as we mentioned. I don't know why I'm going into the refinery, because I don't want to be in the refinery. Officers, recruit. So I'm going to scroll right across, and I'm going to quickly show you Karn, Nooney, and Singh when his face actually appears. Is it going to appear? I don't know. No, it's not. So we'll just click on the tab. There you go, Karn. Now his face appears. So you're also going to be able to get these using your transporter patterns. Boom, jobs are good. Now, just as a quick mention and shout out for the latest update, we also have 3 new officers added to the transporter patterns. Yay! Although we're still actually missing a couple that we really need. Picard and Jailer. Because there's no other sourcing for Picard, and Jailer's is pretty shite, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But we've got Strange New Worlds Pilot, which is the new meta for the PvE. He's your captain on your ships. And, believe it or not, another reason I mention this, he's a pretty good swarm one as well. Yes. So, but again, we'll talk about that in crewing. We've also got Base Cracker Rom as well. Another one if you like to raid your bases. Get him, max him out. And you've also got Beckett Mariner, the lower decker. I'd literally not long got her before this was added, so that was kind of a piss take for me. It's like, really? But she's here now, and guess what? I took her to Tier 3. Yes, I went straight in and I blew shards. And I'll tell you what, she's actually doing all right, if I'm honest. But anyway, so great shout out to Scopely for adding more officers. Still need Picard, still need Jailer. Get them in here. They're the ones we need. But that's Scopely. Now, back to the main feature. Yes, we've got the Franklin A. Now, as you can see, mine is out. And who have I got in command? Yes, I've got Strange New World Pike. He's in command. Now, this is a G3, G4, sorry, a G4, G5 ship, and it does start in the G3 region. Actually, no, I think it ends in G4. I can't remember. We'll have a look in stfc.space. But as you can see in the green bar at the top there, it's an uncommon ship. It's tier 4 of 12. Yes, there is a 12 tier ship. So what we'll do is we'll quickly jump into stfc.space and we'll have a quick look at this beauty. So here she is. And she's a lot whiter. Yes, she is a lot whiter. A tier 12 Franklin A. Now, this ship was given to us as a new ship. I can't remember how long ago it was launched. I think it's nearly a year now since she was launched, maybe a little bit longer. But she was brought in to replace the Franklin and give us some bigger, stronger swarm to go after with some bigger rewards. Now, 200 blueprints to build. Time, 165 days. Yeah, that is affected by your building research. Ship construction research, should I say. And mine took it all the way down to 62 days. Yes. 62 days, 65 days. Still a long bloody slog, I'll tell you that much. A lot of speed ups needed, especially for a level 35 player. So bear that in mind as you come up with it. Cost to build it, literally common and uncommon G3. So it's not particularly expensive in the material stage. 20 million titanium and 300,000 dilithium. So that's something you can easily meet. Level 35 shipyard required. just to get it going. And as you can see, its range here, total 72 billion titanium and 1.1 billion dilithium. And as you can see here, for the materials, it's taking G3, common, uncommon, and rare, and then it goes into G4, which it takes anywhere up to the epics. Frequency modulators Mark II. Yes, you got frequency modulator Mark II, 147 million. But again, it's level locked, so don't worry. Believe it or not, if you're actually taking your time leveling up, you can actually do this. I've got enough frequency modulators to send this thing send mine from tier 4 to tier 6. That's how many modulators I've got. And to be honest, I stopped doing it for a few weeks. I put it back out there because I'm starting to think again. Let's get that resources, but it's also the repair speed ups I want. Yeah. Did you notice them in the boxes? But then again, it's also locked. So it starts at 35. So you got 37, 39, 41, 43, 45, 47, 49, 51, 53, 55, 57, 59. So that's going all the way up into G5. But yet there's actually no G5 materials in it. Now, total tear up time, 1 year, 47 days. But again, affected by research. Repair cost, 81 million titanium. Woo, very pricey. So again, now this has also 3 phaser. So it has a phaser beam, and it changes to 2 kinetic weapons. Yes, 2 kinetic weapons. And then obviously it's got its shields, it's got its cargo bay, it's got warp engines. As you can see, the warp range there is 165, but we'll look at that in just a moment. Here's his firing pattern. So its phaser beam fires twice every single round, keeps going. And then the kinetic weapons also firing every other round. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. 2 shots each, giving it that big blast. Now, crewing, again, is limited to 5 slots. So now the officer bonus on this one, because it is a G3, G4, is 350%. So once you can make that, believe it or not, your ship is going to be able to hit high. I can actually hit with my ship at the minute, level 46 swarm. Not enough to do my dailies. But I can hit them. So now the Franklin A does come with a refit. The USS Terror turns it from a nice white ship to a black ship. You need 60 shards. It is a rare, and what it does, it increases your damage against swarm armadas. Yeah, swarm armadas. We'll talk about them in just a moment. So warp table, as you see, can start off at warp range 75 and tops out at 165. Now, bearing in mind that with this ship, it will be affected by your enhanced warp cores as well. Yes, it will be affected. So will the other Franklin, to be honest, if you actually have one at this point. But anyway, now, how do you acquire this ship? Well, to be perfectly blunt, if we scroll back up to the top and we go back to the Franklin, yes, we go back to the Franklin, and we've still got 9 tiers, and we scroll all the way down to the scrapping of this Franklin. Yes, scrapping. We type in there, level 41, click OK. If I can just get rid of the keyboard. Boom. That is your sourcing. Franklin Advanced Data Cores, 200. That's your blueprints. Yes, so you're going to take a tier 9 Franklin, level 41. That's as high as you need to go. Because, look, as soon as you start getting lower, you get less. Boom, boom, boom. So if we take it above 41, oh, look at that. Those data cores are not changing. Yeah, you find you can get a little bit more back. 51,000 ship XP is not too bad, really. But it's still a drop in the water compared to what you actually need. But anyway, look, just take it back down there. Level 41. Remember that. So where are you going to take it? Guess what? Back to the game. So back in the game, where do you go? Well, you're going to go to the refinery. Yep. you're going to go to the resources, and you're going to go to this first tab. Oh, and there you go. Advanced data cores. Now, as you can see across the bottom here, and if you see the picture tells you it's going to give you 5 blueprints per single chest. Now that's going to cost you 5 data cores. Or you can go all out, get the 40 chests at the end there, and gives you the 200. And there you go, there's the information. Gained by scrapping the original Franklin. Scrap a max level Franklin to fully unlock the Franklin A. Now, disclaimer. That says max level. No. I just showed you it's level 41. Yeah. I just showed you that. So ignore the max level. 41. But anyway. And then just to prove that, there you go. Get 25. But hey ho. So, taking the 40 chests, and you're going to be able to build the new Franklin. So, go into the shipyard and build it. Now, once you've built the new Franklin, you will get some new dailies. Yes, you're going to get some more dailies. Woohoo! We all love dailies, and it's these two here, Swarm Slayer and Hunter. Now, as you can see, the Hunter is the most. You need 25 kills, but it's 35 and above. Now, every time you hit a Swarm for your dailies, as you can see, and you probably saw in the other ones as well, because it's there as well, all you need to do is kill one Swarm to get 3 points. Level 35 plus, one Swarm, 3 points. So, to do that 25, what's that? That's what? 7, 8 kills. Look, 9 kills. 9 kills. And you've done that event. I can do that on the level 46s. I can easily kill 9. So I can complete this one without a problem. But as well, I still try to do these Swarm Watchers. So this level 65, I need 22 kills. Yeah, okay, let's bring it down to the 44s. I can definitely do that. 45s, it's a squeaky bum time. Whether you can do it. Squeaky bum time. If not, you just run to a level 35 system, kill a Swarm in there, or depending on what ship you use. So now, what do these pay out? These new pay out advanced biotics. And they also pay out the Mark II frequency modulators too. And some more repair speed, 30-minute speed ups. So the Swarm Biotics, you'll take them, yeah, and then you'll go back to your refinery, back to your resources, and you'll do it in these first 3 as well. So, again, you can do 2 a day, give or take. There's going to be days where, pardon me, excuse me, you can only pull 1. So just bear that in mind. I think that happens roughly every 3 to 4 days. So just bear that in mind. Now, there's also a bonus with this. Yes, there is a bonus. Because if you scroll over here, Mark II frequency modulators can be converted into Mark III. This is, again, varied by the Franklin A is tier. So bear in mind. So as you can see at the top there, I've got... Okay, I've selected now. I've got 16 million frequency modulators. So I've got enough to upgrade a Franklin and still do this. But the one thing is, I've not been pulling this because it is pretty pricey. One chest is starting at 300,000. 2 chests, 860,000. That's nearly 3 times the amount. And then 3 chests, well, that just blows that extortionate out of the water. 4.3 million. What the hell? But it is Scopely. They love to charge you a hell of a lot more than you should be charged for getting more. Yeah. Guess what? Because I got the 16 million. Let's just do it. Look at that. Yeah. So now, because my Franklin is out in Swarm space at the minute, I can't show you exactly how many frequency modulators I've got. So what I'm going to do is we go into materials, and as you can see, you've got your biominerals and biotics here. And as you can see, I've also got the extra stuff for the Franklin, which is the relay here, the regulator injector. Next one, I've got the containment coil and core. That'll do me. That'll get me to a tier 9 Franklin. But you need to scroll. Oh, here you go. G3, 11 million frequency modulators left. So yeah. Now those frequency modulators are actually being gathered just from the dailies, not actually hitting the swarms that drop them. It's just from the dailies. So, and I think on a Sunday I used to just pop a few level 35s. But anyway, so we go to G4, and as you can see, I've got 1.8 million frequency modulators. So that's the Franklin A. Now, crewing, the best part, what we all like to see. Now, I have shoved a couple of crew formations out there that you can use. So this, when you actually start in, if you don't have Pike, the original Pike, you can start off with a formation like this. Pretty simple. Just go in there, blow them up. Or if you like to use the next gen crew, which is pretty much exactly the same, yeah, they're basically copy paste officers, so you can use those specific to bridge loadouts if you like. Obviously, below deck will go on how many slots you've got and how you want to load out your below deck. So that's your starting crew. That's for the original Franklin. You will not ever put these on a Franklin A. I'll tell you that for definite. So what you're going to put on the Franklin A? Well, you're going to take Pike, Moreau, and not that crew just yet. And obviously, you'll replace Chen with Talon. Yes, you'll replace it with Talon. Because with Talon, as you can see with Chen, she is an energy absorber. Yeah. Swarm's an interceptor. They're not really big on energy weapons. They're big on kinetics. So, obviously, you're going to want Talon or Kath, if she's higher than Talon, just to go out and smack the Swarm. Now, it's a good crew. I'm not going to lie. You'll be using Pike, Moreau, Talon on your Franklin all the way through. Yeah, all the way through. Now, by level 30, by the time you get it to tier 9, you might want to switch over to them. Yes, the Spike crew. And you'll be looking for Pike and then Spock, because Spock, obviously, well, you put him on an Explorer, which is what the Franklin and Franklin A are, and you'll be taking them up against hostiles. Now, my Spock is a tier 3, so obviously I'm going to be hitting over 1,000% of my total defense, which is good. Now, if you've noticed as well, I have also got Jailer. Yes, I've got Jailer. DJ, will you please stop blowing up Discord? Now, if you don't have Jailer, my best recommendation, full synergy. Make sure it's full synergy, because trust me, you're going to go a long way. And to be honest, there is not much difference between the crew you see here and a full synergy Spike crew. But if you do have Jailer, this is the reason why you want Jailer. Yes, she's taking that she's taking those firing patterns, and she's increasing the shot spike too. Yes, and it's not just a Franklin A, it's the original Franklin too. So if you've got it for that, sling her on it, for God's sake, sling her on it, because it is, those two shots are a godsend. They are an absolute godsend. I think she actually starts by increasing it by 1 as tier 1. I can't remember what tier mine is. I think she's a tier 2. But obviously, yeah. So ultimately, this will end up being the crew you're going to use for your Franklin for the rest of your game. Well, your Franklin A for the rest of your game once you have them. So, yeah. Now, there are some new systems that was put in place for these as well. Yes, more new systems. You gotta love those new systems. So if we scroll across, and your first batch is here at the edge of Romnean territory. These are, get that banner off. These are level 37 37 systems with a warp range of 75. So this is why you need the Franklin A. So we won't take that one. We won't scan that one. And these are your clusters. Again, they got 5. Rewards at the bottom there is the Mark II, the G4 modulators, and that's just one cluster. As you can see, 7.8 million strength. The original Franklin does not stand a cat and mouse chance against these, so don't even try discoing it in there, because it won't stand a chance. You need the Franklin A, end of story. Now, we'll take you to where my Franklin A currently is, because this is another system. Oh, I'm in a level 43 system, which is just between Klingon and Romanian territory. But again, you're looking for these clouds. So when you're scanning around, out, if we scroll out as far as we can, they are very clear to see. Even the Borg ones are clear to see. But you've also got a section here at the edge of Federation space, which is connected to Solux, which is your G3 gas node system. But you got level 39s here, and then obviously from then on out, you head into the 41s here, and then the 43 to the 46s. And then just up here is where it all maxes out to the level 50 systems. That is it. So, now they're the systems that you've got. Okay, fine. Was there anything else I needed to add? I can't think of anything. Now, this bit's been added in editing because stupid me, I forgot to add this, didn't I? Hence the reason why it was splattered Swarm Armadas. So here they are, Swarm Armadas. They're actually called Swarm Hordes. They are a rare target, and what are they going to take? Well, they are. Hang on. Then that's why I can't get up. There we go. They are going to cost you 100 rare directives to run. And what are you going to get out of these? Well, yeah, biotics. Now, the mega chest that you will get is for the leader of the Armada, and you have a chance of getting Jailer shards. This is your only source for Jailer shards, and it's pretty shite. I'm not going to mince words. It is that shocking, it is unreal. I think it was 4 shards at 14% chance. If you want to waste rare directives on this, crack on. I'm not. But you can only use the Franklin, because your Franklin needs it. Now, that Terra skin does come in handy because it will boost. And if we actually take a look at Jailer, if you just happen to actually have Jailer, you put her in command, and no, she just increases the resources that you're going to get while killing with the Franklin. So she's another crew formation you can actually use. Put her in command, and then put, I don't know, Spock on one side and Kang on the other. Yeah. There's another formation for you. But, yeah. But anyway, that's the Swarm Armadas. Now, we're going on to that piece of research I actually missed earlier. Now, there is actually one piece of research that we haven't actually quickly mentioned, and it is very worth mentioning. I'm not going to lie. However, as per usual, yes, you've got to expect this because it will happen. Prime Swarm Refinery. This is a paid feature. Paid feature only. That is it. However, a 500% increase to those resources. Yes, 500%. So you take them and you multiply it by 5. Yeah. Now, I have heard that it's actually 600 because it's timesing it by 5 and then it's putting a base amount back on top. So, let's just say, for instance, you get 200 Parsteel tokens. 200 Parsteel tokens, the 1 million one. So, we've got 200 million there. That's timesing it by 5. So, that's actually taking that 200 tokens to 1,000 tokens. Yeah, 1,000 tokens. But it's also adding those original 200 on top. So you're actually getting 1,200 for this. Now, like I said, I've heard about it. I've not seen it for myself. I've not seen it. I think there is a chart floating around somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. I haven't found it yet. But anyway, if you do know where the chart, please feel free to post it in my Discord, and I will add it to the excuse me, the chart section of my Discord. But anyway, that's the Franklin and the Franklin A and Swarm Sunday. Yes, Swarm Sunday is definitely an event I would highly recommend that you do every single week if you want those card shards and that little trickle of materials. It's not a bad payout, to be honest, but it's there. If you want a G5 version, yeah, maybe one day in the future, you know, we don't know when, but anything's possible. But anyway, that's the Franklin, that's the Franklin A, that's Swarm Sunday. There's your update. A lengthy video as per usual from myself, but anyway, time for me to skedaddle. I've got stuff to do. Anyway, I'm Admiral Pegasus saying stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.